This is the SV6 steam and vacuum cleaner. S stands for steam, V for vacuum, and 6 is for 6 bar. It's actually got more than 6 bar. This one about 6.5 bars of steam pressure, which is one of the best in the range as far as the steam pressure goes. Certainly borderlining commercial and domestic machine. It's very, very simple to use. I'm going to show you how to fill it up and get it ready for use. Okay, first thing we do is we plug the machine into a power point and switch it on. Any standard 10 amp power point is fine. We need to fill the machine with cold tap water. This machine takes about 600 mils, and that's all of tap water in the front. So what we do is we unscrew the cap, we take our 600 mils and we pour that in the machine until that's filled up to the top. Now you can see that when it gets to the top or thereabouts, and that's enough to run the machine. Take the screw cap lid, put it back on, and you'll find it'll just lock back into place. Okay. The vacuum is on this side, and the vacuum tank does require water to run, and I'll show you that in a minute. But this is your vacuum tank. That comes out of there. We do need to fill water in the vacuum, otherwise it won't work. Now you'll notice on here there's actually a couple of level sensors. You have to fill the water at least as high as the bottom sensor, otherwise the vacuum won't work. It'll beep, start beeping, and you hear what that is. It means you haven't got enough water. When you pick the water up, when it gets higher than this sensor here, the vacuum's going to cut out. So you need to empty the vacuum and go back just about to that level is fine. And just again, cold tap water. It's very, very important to note, you just pour the water directly into here. Do not put it into this hole here. If you do, it's just going to go right into the wrong part and actually blow out the back of the machine. So make sure you don't put water into this hole here. Okay, so we put that back in, make sure it goes in until it clicks in. Okay, sometimes it'll just fall in without clicking, and other times you might have to just give it a bit of a force it down to actually get it in there. When that's sitting in straight, put the lid straight back on. Okay, now we can switch the machine on. This one's already plugged into the power point, so we switch the green button on first, and that's the power connection, and we wait until the yellow light here comes on, and when that one comes on, it just took about 3 or 4 seconds, then we can switch to the boiler. Okay, we need the power first and then the boiler. That machine now is it's heating up. You can probably start to hear the elements start firing in there. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes for it to reach temperature to be ready to go. At that point, the green light's going to come on, and that's going to tell you the machine's ready for use. And at that point, you can start using it. You can use the machine until it runs out of water, which takes about 20 minutes or so. When it runs out of water, all you do is we unscrew the cap and we put more water back into the machine again. It's a continuous operation, so you can keep using the machine. Now the machine's heated up, we're ready to plug the steam and vacuum hose into the machine. Just make note, the red button on the top of the socket is meant to be on the top, and that's to release it. You don't use that to plug it in. So to plug in the machine, lift the front socket of the machine, plug the hose in, line it up, hold on to the top of the machine and make sure the hose clicks into place. When you want to remove the hose, lift it up, push the red button and just gently release it out of the socket again. Now the hose is plugged in, you need to release the steam by pulling the trigger on the handle. Pull the trigger. Then you can adjust the steam by pushing the red button. There's 3 levels, level 1, 2 and 3. The SV6 has a safety locking mechanism on the handle. You activate that by pushing the red button once. By doing that, you'll see that the trigger can't actually activate the steam. So let go of the steam. It's now locked in place, and then that's the safety device. Then push the red button back once again, and then you can activate the steam again. To use the vacuum, you push the white button on the handle. One switches it on. To adjust the level of the vacuum, hold the button in and you'll get 3 levels as you crank. Now now it's down to the nuts and bolts of how you use the machine. At the end of the day, it's fantastic to have good steam pressure, but it comes down to using the right accessories in the right way, which is going to make the machine really work for you. There's quite a few here, but don't be confused. It's very, very simple. Basically, all you really need is your detail nozzle, which you can attach your brushes onto, and that'll do all your nooks and crannies, your grout, your window and door tracks, fridge seals, etc., etc. You'll find 1,001 different ways of using that, and the brushes just go straight on the end. Then you've got your floor tool, which is the main one. The floor tool, which you can change over to clean carpet, to clean your hard tiles, tile surfaces, etc. Very, very easy, very, very versatile. And then you've got your main versatile one, which is your upholstery tool, where you can actually fit on the window squeegee, brushes, etc. to do all your jobs. So to fit them together, make sure that you push the red button and it's locked just for safety, so you can't actually accidentally burn yourself with the steam. Okay, now to put the detail nozzle on, make sure there's a locking clip there. It's in the 12 o'clock position, straight in the middle. Simply slide it on and lock it in place, and that's it. Then you've got your detail nozzle, and by pushing the red button back on, it comes back on. Okay, there's the steam coming out of the end there. Again, we can adjust the steam. The more steam you've got, the drier it gets, and you will get a bit of condensation on the floor when you first turn it on, so just be aware of that if it's on your nice new white rug. Okay, so we've got the steam. Another thing to point out as well, which I haven't mentioned, the steam at this point is extremely hot. It's around about 100 to 130 degrees. It will burn you if you touch it right there while the steam is on. But the good news is, as the steam leaves the head, the temperature of the steam cools down dramatically, so it's very, very safe to, from a distance, to feel it. Right there. If that's the sun cold there, move your hand closer to down there. That's as far as you want to get, or as close as you want to get. Now all the brushes will actually just fit straight onto the end, and they just push straight on there. Now you've got a brush that you can get into, and that's really going to agitate something like your grout, for example. Next we've got the very versatile upholstery tool, window squeegee tool. As it is, you can use that straight on as steam and vacuum for upholstery. Just by putting it down, you've got the steam and the vacuum there. It works extremely well, or spot clean your carpets, etc. But for cleaning windows, it's got the window squeegee blade, and that just simply snaps on, clicks into place, and that's your window squeegee there. There's two sizes. Snaps off, and that's the smaller one here. Clicks on just for smaller areas. You might use that in your bathroom, around the taps and sinks. It's a lot easier. It also comes off, and the other one that goes on is the brush, and that one you might use for your upholstery, giving it a steam and a vacuum if it's a little bit ground in dirt. The floor tool, it's also got a few options just with the one option. There's 3 inserts that go in there. The hard plastic one that's in at the moment, this is perfect for doing your carpets. You could even use this on your mattresses for doing, sanitise your mattresses. You could use that, or the upholstery tool, depending which one you want to use. But personally, I'd use this one because it's bigger and will do the job faster, which is great. So that will just slide nice and easily over carpet, for vacuuming carpet, where you can actually put steam into that as well. Now to open that up and change it over, then we want to change it to do hard floors. So you've got a squeegee insert there, because you want to leave the floors dry on tiles. So what we have to do is open, you probably can't see it there, but there's the open, close and arrow. So go to open, and open, slide that open, and that will just pop straight out. And then we can put the squeegee in, and it should only go in one way. And just click it down, and then go back to the lock position, and that's locked in, and that's going to now be ready for using it on your hard floor surfaces. The other handy tool we've got is the little detail nozzle with the extra long extension. That's just for getting to your nooks and crannies that would be hard to reach, such as you might be cleaning inside the car and you want to get down the little sides of the, in between the seats and the floor. So that one's going to give you a nice, good, fine steam jet, but it's going to get into an angle where you couldn't otherwise reach. So for all of the attachments, they'll all fit onto the extension ones. These are extremely handy because, of course, if we're cleaning the floor, say without doing the grout, we don't want to be on our hands and knees and rubbing the floor. So what we do is we connect the extension ones together, lock them into place, and put that on the end again, locks into place, so then we can use that. We can reach up high, we can reach down low. And that applies to the floor tool or pretty much any of them. Window squeegees to reach high, etc. But just, you've got to make sure it's locked into place because you don't want them to accidentally come apart like this thing. Okay, so we've in the bathroom now. We've found ourselves a bit of grout and tiles we're going to try and clean. So what I've got is the detail brush. You could use the nylon brush or the wire brush. If you use the wire brush, make sure it's not going to scratch the tile. So just do a little section out of the corner, somewhere unseen, just to make sure it's not. In most cases it won't. Occasionally it won't, so just want to be careful. But I'm going to use the nylon brush because it's going to do the job. So put the extension on, remember to lock it into place, and that one's locked into place. And I'll put the brush onto there, lock that into place. Now we'll put it along nice long strokes to drill quickly. It doesn't really matter what level you've got the steam on. It could be 1, 2 or 3, just see which one performs better for you. To clean up the ground, and I want to pick the dirt and the moisture up. So I change the head over, unlock that, change it to the floor tool, lock that into place. Now I'm going to use the bristles to scrub the floor first, and then use the squeegee with the vacuum to pick the moisture up. Scrub it along. You see that signal right off the floor? So that's just the steam, and now I'll push the button for the vacuum. Okay, now we could vacuum that up, or we could just use a towel and just give it a wipe.